Outlaw Lawyer.
Welcome back into the Outlaw Lawyer. Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer. Again, Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm, managing partners there. Our special guest is Taylor Scruggs-Smith. We have a little bit of time, so let's get right to it. How are we wrapping it up?
You know, I want to take a second. We don't have any more listener questions. We've done our 3 listener questions. We're all done. But one thing I want to get out there, and it's not necessarily legal, we see it a lot because we handle a lot of real estate transactions, right? So if you're buying a house, if you're getting a refinance, you're selling a house, that's something our firm, you need an attorney to help you, that's something our firm does a lot of. And so we kind of really plugged into the real estate market as a result, and right now it's bananas. I know we saw, there was a viral video, I know it was we used it on social media, we shared it too, but there was a viral video that kind of went nationwide.
Right.
A local real estate agent here in town that we work with took a video of everybody lining up down the street to look at a house that was on the market, a good sized house, it was 260, 250.
About 260, so in that range of what most
which is way different than 250 or 260 was like even 2-3 years ago.
Right. So right now, I think the average in Wake County, I think the Register of Deeds, when he updated the average sell in Wake County was about 420. So we're in Wake County. This house is kind of under the median value right now, which changes every 30 seconds what the median value is. So this was what I would call an affordable house.
And that's a unicorn.
Yeah.
It's like a first-time home buyer market range is like under that 300,000 mark, and that video was so crazy and it went so viral so quick.
There were people lined up to look at this house, you know, and it was just down the street. I mean, it looked like the fair was in town or something. It's just this all these people were coming to look at this unicorn of a house, and so we have
any tailgating going on?
It might have been. Might have been.
And so they've updated and said that house actually went for $70K over asking price.
So at 200, we'll say it was 250 because we don't know exactly what it was, but it was in that range. So a $250,000 house, tons of people looking at it. The offer that was accepted by the sellers that closed appears to be, from the report that we saw, no inside knowledge here, 70 grand over the asking price. So this house that was put on the market for 250 sold for 320.
Which will never appraise, so it's got to be a cash deal, correct?
Well, I think the way it works is the buyer might have been ready.
Yeah, they just
put
come
extra
with,
cash.
Yeah, the appraisal doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, so if your loan requires you to put 10% down and it, you know, only appraised for 300, then you're just stuck with an extra.
And that's a commonality in today's market, just because of the ridiculous prices that we see.
Well, I saw, and I don't know what the daily numbers are, but Wake County, we're coming to a point where we're close to being under 500 active listings on the market at a time, where normally 10 to 15,000 would be normal. You know, we've been just ticking down, and Taylor, you went through this too, because you just went hunting for a house.
Yes, I just finally closed, thank goodness. But oh my. Like, being a buyer out there in that market right now is crazy. Sellers are asking for like $30,000 in due diligence, and that's just to have the time to inspect the property for yourself, not to say you're actually going to close on it.
And that's one of those things where we could do an in-depth deep dive on just the concept of due diligence, but that's not like something that you're likely to get back in the absence of like a very narrow set of circumstances. And there's people who are doing that, $50,000 of due diligence, sight unseen. You know,
and
it's just because it's desperation.
And it's a lot of sight unseen offers getting accepted right now. I know when I was doing my search, a property would say that, you know, they could start an open house on Friday. By Thursday night, they're already telling everybody the house has already been sold and they've already accepted an offer. Don't come. So it's like before you even can go look, they're already selling it.
I was just going to say, and with the growth in the area, with everybody, all these companies moving in, I mean, it's not going to change. I mean,
no, this is our new.
We're in a bubble where this is going to be kind of the normal.
And you can argue about, you know, are we going into a recession? You know, you can make all these national arguments on where the economy's headed and what it's doing, but on the ground here, man, the real estate market is it's just crazy. And it's going to be crazy for a long time. I don't think a recession necessarily hurt. Interest rates are going up. I don't know that necessarily changes anything because there's just no supply. We have a lot of demand.
And no supply.
And very little supply.
I think even on the appraisal for the property I ended up purchasing, they had to make an adjustment for the aggregate market on the appraisal.
Yeah.
Like it's written on your appraisal, like this is what this would normally be, but because of this crazy world right now, this is what it is.
You know,
And it's presenting a lot of legal questions. You know, we're talking about the real estate market in general. We're attorneys, but you know, you're talking about due diligence. You know, people are offering a lot of due diligence, sight unseen,
A lot of
waiving
seller
repairs,
leasebacks.
yeah, letting the seller stay in the. You know, there's all these things going on because I don't know that I've never seen a stronger seller market than what we're seeing now.
It's very easy. Should be very, very easy to sell a house.
Yeah, anything,
super easy.
anything you wanted to sell, you could probably sell it.
Now buying on the back end, that's the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, what do you just live in the streets with your money. You just take your money, put it in a bag. You just live on the streets, man.
But anyway, I'm glad we got to tackle a lot of listener questions today. We're gonna have to do more of these listener questions.
Yeah, a lot of fun and big treat having Taylor Scruggs-Smith on with us today. Outlaw Lawyers, we've got another episode in the books. You can get in touch. If you have a legal question, you can call 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave your contact information, briefly what the call's about, and an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer will be in touch. You can also email the program, questions@theoutlawlawyer.com. For Joe Hamer, Josh Whitaker, and of course our guest, Taylor Scruggs-Smith, I'm Morgan Patrick, and that's a wrap.